The following express episode of Snowman's NFL Pregame is presented by Snowman's Road to Recovery, and the preceding is a presentation of Snowman Multimedia. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Snowman's NFL Pregame, Week 14. Can you believe we are 14 weeks in this doggone thing? I'm joined by my man, Trey Larkins, and my homie from Chicago, Vic Law, or Dr. Vic A, or Detective Vic A. Law. Victor Locke joins us. Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How's it going?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Okay, Trey. We're going to start with this. Since I have known you, which is now 8 incredible years, you have been my brother, and I love you dearly. Trey and I met in Cincinnati when I covered a game at Nippert Stadium. When I told him my favorite team was the San Francisco 49ers, he laughed in my face. And I mean this very playfully. I got to play around with you. I mean this very playfully. He said, "How can you be a fan of them?" And then I mentioned my reason, which, of course, is Joe Montana.
Mm-hmm.
And he hung his head and went, "Damn it." And all the times that the 49ers and Packers have met in the playoffs and in the regular season, because they met in the regular season in 2021. The first time Trey and I went at each other was 2019 when it was Sunday Night Football. The Packers and the 49ers were on a collision course. And all that week, Mr. Larkins let me have it.
All day, every day.
He let me have it. He said, "How are you going to feel when we beat you in your house on Sunday Night Football?" And then Nick Bosa forced the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands. And then Trey messaged me and went, "Are you kidding me?" But that's how we welcome Trey Larkins to the Snow Crew, my brother. It's a pleasure to have you. It's a pleasure to be with you this Sunday morning, and we're ready to talk some football. And the early game that first of all, let's start with a review. Let's go back to Thursday night, and I'm not doing this to kick Victor. I'm doing this because I want a very analytical mind about this. Mm-hmm. Lions and Cowboys in Detroit. The Cowboys are coming off of a week that a lot of people should not have. When you beat the two Super Bowl contenders within 4 days of each other. They beat the Eagles on Sunday with a comeback win, 24 unanswered points. Then they hold off the Chiefs 31-28 on Thanksgiving Day. And then Detroit comes by. And Victor, I toss this to you. What you were afraid of the most happened. They got complacent and it burned them.
Yep, they got to the point where, again, they felt like they could win because everyone else is horrible. And you're forgetting that you're talking about a team that was this close to being the NFC champs in the Detroit Lions. Mm-hmm. So why you thought you could just go away from running the football, because it didn't run the football all that much. And unfortunately, CeeDee Lamb's injury that came in third quarter did not help matters at all.
No, it didn't. They lost one of their biggest pass catchers in CeeDee Lamb. And that combination, Victor, that you told me about, CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, working out for a time. But does it seem to you that there are times neither of them are on the same page? Well, or did I just overlook that?
Well, the thing is that Dak, because Dak is, I would say this, Dak is probably one of the nicest guys. Like, he doesn't want to cause any problems whatsoever.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to rock the boat or nothing. So he's trying his best to facilitate both sides.
Yes.
By throwing some passes to CD and throwing some passes to George. The only problem is that when CD, and unfortunately, CD has been very inconsistent with his hands. He has dropped some sure first downs and some sure touchdowns.
And I never thought I would see this from CeeDee Lamb, that he would be so unsure, and that's how it looked. He was unsure of
absolutely
catching the football.
He seemed really unsure of himself. What happened is that where was the run offense?
Let me come to Trey, because Trey is a big component of running the football, and that was the one thing. All of us have talked about it, and Trey, you mentioned this before the Thursday night game in your wonderful preview, is that the Cowboys need to run the football in Detroit on the road. Those are your two big points. On the road in Detroit, they needed to run the football, and the Cowboys, it seemed like, Trey, almost from minute one, abandoned the run game.
Absolutely, and it seems like they got pretty much, they just gave the ball to Dak Prescott and wanted Dak to win the game. And I thought over the last few weeks, their 3-game winning streak, when they beat the Raiders, the Cowboys, and the Chiefs, they were running the football effectively with Javonte Williams, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that they got away from that. But also, you guys spoke about them losing CeeDee Lamb, but Ryan Flournoy stepped up.
Flournoy did really well.
The Cowboys on Thursday against the Lions, he made some huge plays. I thought George Pickens to me played uninspired. It seemed like he wasn't really interested in being in Detroit and in a football game. I don't know what the hell was going on with George Pickens in that game, fellas.
And that's one of the things that upsets me about the Cowboys. And Victor has asked me for years what upsets me about this version of the Cowboys. Trey just said it. When you played the Cowboys in the 90s and partially the 80s and definitely the 70s, you were going to get hit in the mouth. By the Dallas Cowboys. And I bring up the Cowboys of the 90s, led by Troy Aikman on offense and the defense that was out of this world. You were in a ball game when you played them. Now, and I toss this to Victor, now it does not seem that they are inspired at all,
because unfortunately the Cowboys of now it seems like they're more worried about just being mentioned. See, I'm the type of person that's like, when I want to be mentioned, I would be mentioned in the line of, we're going to the Super Bowl, we're going to the NFC Championship, we're going to the playoffs. It's like they're just being happy being mentioned at all, and that's not going to help you when you are considered quote unquote America's team. And yes, you're getting the primetime games. You're getting Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, Thursday Night Football. But that doesn't mean anything if you're not really in any prime position to make the playoffs. And right now, the Cowboys have a 9% chance of making said dance. And honestly, I don't see it happening.
I don't see it happening either, especially when they surrender 400+ yards of offense to a team that is number 2 in the league in offense in the Detroit Lions. 400 yards of offense, man.
I mean, it's the Lions. We know what the Lions are capable of, and the Lions came off some embarrassing losses themselves.
Yes, they have.
If there was going to be a get-right game, it was going to be against us.
Yeah, and we thought it was going to be Jahmyr Gibbs, but it was actually Jared Goff in the passing game for the Lions. So that was surprising as well. And then that's actually also one of the reasons why the Cowboys were on the 3-game winning streak, because of their defense. But they only got 1 sack on Jared Goff.
Yep, they did not touch Jared Goff all night. They did not touch.
That's because their offensive line. That's because their offensive line for the Lions is stout.
And Trey,
very stout.
And Trey, you have said this so often. If you can keep your quarterback's uniform clean, you're going to have a great game. Jared Goff's uniform, and remember, they wore white uniforms on Thursday night. Jared Goff's uniform was quite clean. They only got to him once, and that was a coverage sack at that.
A lesson.
That was a coverage sack at that. So what did Detroit do the next play on 2nd down and 17? They get 25 yards on a first down.
They run right.
Yeah, that was a problem. And the thing is, the Cowboys defense, they didn't even have many pressures. Like, Jared Goff has zero mobility. Like, Jared Goff, not mobile whatsoever. So if you can even just pressure Jared Goff without even getting to him, that rushes up his process. And sometimes he's not as accurate, but he was able to sit back in the pocket, probably call his wife and ask her what was for dinner for the next day. And it was bad. It was bad.
How'd I put it last night, Snowman, by Caleb Williams? What the guys Nails and Her did, and went on the girls did Angel Reese,
did everything.
How much time he had in the pocket, and it's the same thing that happened with Jared Goff. But see, Jared Goff has a very, very meticulous mind. Like he really sees the offense or sees the defense and knows how to pick them apart if you give him time.
He does.
Jared Goff is definitely an old school quarterback in terms of being meticulous, in terms of surveying the scene, and in terms of spotting his receivers, going through his progressions and going through them very quickly. He may not be mobile in the legs, but he's very mobile up here. And that is what has kept him going in Detroit. 44-30 was the final in Detroit on Thursday. We're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the most resilient team in the NFL. They're off this week, but the scariest thing, they're getting healthy. Tell you who that is in a moment.
Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete!
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels.
Hey everybody, Snowman here. Looking for the best way to experience live events? Well, SeatGeek has you covered. With just a few taps on your phone, you can find the best seats for concerts, sports, theater, and more. Don't miss out on unforgettable moments. Download the SeatGeek app today and get ready for an experience like no other. Each ticket is vetted for authenticity and ranked on a 1 to 10 scale. And right now, if you sign up and use the code Snowman, you will get $20 off of your first purchase. That's only through the power of SeatGeek, where fans can fan.
Come back to week 14 in the NFL inside Snowman's NFL pregame, brought to you by Snowman's Road to Recovery, the GoFundMe that's out right now to help me and my family recover from a mountain, and I do mean this, a mountain of medical bills that has put us behind. And you'll see the scroll at the bottom of the screen. We just want to get back on our feet and get everything going again. So if y'all could, please be kind. Go to gofund.me/Snowman's Road to Recovery. Okay. I'm going to say a sentence that's going to piss Trey off, but make him smile at the same time. The most resilient team in the league right now is the team that, and I mean this very playfully, Trey cannot stand. And that is the San Francisco 49ers.
Man, can't stand them. But this year, the San Francisco 49ers, they've been playing some great football. And I believe Kyle Shanahan is the runaway NFL Coach of the Year. I know Shane Steichen's doing great with the Indianapolis Colts. Mike Vrabel has done great with the New England Patriots. But what Kyle Shanahan has been able to do with a depleted 49ers roster, to me, warrants him being the NFL Coach of the Year, because even the players who are playing now, like Brock Purdy and George Kittle, they've also dealt with injuries. I mean, Brock Purdy just now came back a few weeks ago from his injury. George Kittle missed some games earlier this season as well. And then on the defensive side of the ball, they lost Nick Bosa and Fred Warner, their two best players defensively. And the 49ers are still in the NFC playoff race. And they are right now, if the playoffs were to start today, the 49ers will be a playoff team. So I think Kyle Shanahan is the runaway NFL Coach of the Year. And it's honestly not close to me.
And you know the scary part about this? And Victor brought this to me in a production meeting early last week. if things break the right way, and they absolutely have to, do you realize the 49ers can still capture the number 1 seed? They're only a half a game out in the NFC West behind the Rams, and they split with the Rams. They beat everybody else.
Right.
The craziest thing, and I mean this, the craziest scenario.
Yeah.
Seattle and San Francisco for the NFC West title, just like it was in 2019. Because Seattle and the 49ers are both a half that game behind the Rams, who were running away for a while after they buried us at Levi Stadium. But since that game, the 49ers have won 3 in a row. They've averaged 30 points a game. Their defense has been absolutely dynamite, even with the missing pieces, including their outstanding rookie, Michael Williams from Georgia.
Yeah.
And let me come to Victor. Victor was afraid of this. He spoke it to me all year. When we lost Fred Warner, I thought, okay, game, set, match. Victor yanked me aside and said, dude, do you know who you're a fan of?
Exactly.
Victor, look at this team right now. They are 9-4. They get the week off to heal.
Yeah.
They get another quasi bye week when Tennessee comes to San Francisco.
I will say this. There is a organism known as a water bear. These are creatures that are the most resilient. Extreme heat, they don't have a problem. Extreme cold, they don't got a problem. Radiation, they ain't got a problem. They can survive absolutely everything. That is the San Francisco 49ers. You can beat them down. You can batter them up. You can bust them up. They will still keep coming. And I will tell you exactly what game that really turned it around for that man right there. Yes, the first game against the Los Angeles Rams.
In Thursday Night Football in Los Angeles.
Yep, because Snowman wasn't going to call that game. And then he ended up seeing, I think it was a first down by Kittle.
Yep.
And he was like, okay, I'm checking on the headset. And next thing you know, on a 4th and down stop,
the
San Francisco 49ers shut the door and at least had a split with the Rams. They've swept the Cards, I believe.
Yep.
And they got one more with the Seahawks.
And they're one up on the Seahawks.
Yeah.
They're one up on the Seahawks. I got nothing against Matt Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams. All right. They punched us in the mouth. All right. 42 points and 440 yards.
Yeah.
All right. In the rematch in Santa Clara. But you're talking about a team that has been beat up since the summer. They've had a mass exodus the past 2 years.
Yeah.
And yet all the players that left the 49ers are wishing they were there. Dre Greenlaw included, Deebo Samuel included, and Deebo Samuel has had his problems in Washington. Greenlaw's had his problems in Denver, and Greenlaw was the heart and soul of that 49er defense that went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Absolutely. I think also what's helped the 49ers bringing back Robert Saleh.
Yes.
Robert Saleh really, really helped them, specifically on the defensive side of the ball as their defensive coordinator, and having Robert Saleh with Kyle Shanahan, like they are really football. Yeah.
And you talk about a fellow that has believed in Robert Saleh. After the 2018 season, there were so many questions about will Saleh go? And Kyle Shanahan said, we're holding on to him.
Yeah.
We're holding on to him. Next year they go to the Super Bowl in Miami. But the one player that has held this team together, you know my next 2 words, gentlemen, Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Christian McCaffrey now, to me, out of all the running backs, I think you can make a legitimate argument behind Jonathan Taylor. I think Christian McCaffrey is having a great season as a running back. Like, I think I would say Christian McCaffrey is having a better season than Derrick Henry and Josh Jacobs.
Oh, he's for sure having a better season than Derrick Henry.
Yep.
For sure. And even Josh Jacobs. I love Josh Jacobs, but Josh hasn't had a 100-yard game yet. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to the top of the running backs this year, I think it's been Christian McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor.
Mm-hmm. I think the story for this season has been the return of the Joneses. I mean, you got Daniel Jones in Indianapolis having a renaissance year. And for a time, same thing with Mac Jones with the 49ers. When Brock got hurt, Oh, stepped right in. Mac Jones. And he looked incredible.
How big, Trey, has Mac Jones been in Brock Purdy's place, keeping that offense running?
Oh, he's been huge. He's been huge. And I think that playing in that Kyle Shanahan system, you insert any quarterback, they're going to have success playing in his system. Now, we know Brock Purdy is more talented than Mac Jones is. And
right.
Brock Purdy will take the 49ers farther than Mac Jones will. Mm-hmm. But Mac Jones did a great job in the absence of Brock Purdy. And he didn't necessarily win games for the 49ers.
He just made sure he didn't lose them.
But he didn't make sure he didn't lose games. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And on top of that, Mac Jones also has 3 300-yard games in Purdy's absence. 3 300-yard games, folks.
Absolutely.
And the one stat I want to give you about Christian McCaffrey, and so many people ask me this, including my lovely coordinating producer, my beautiful wife, Jody. Mm-hmm. She asked me before the season, can McCaffrey repeat the feat? The feat being 1,000 yards rushing, 1,000 yards receiving in the same year.
Right.
Well, let me tell you this. He's sitting at 849 rushing and 806 receiving.
And the next team they facing
is Tennessee.
Is the Tennessee Titans. One of those is going to 1,000 by the end of that day.
Just a moment. They get Tennessee after the bye, and then they come here to Indianapolis in what's going to be a shootout with the Colts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's just not fair to have two of the highest scoring teams, especially the 49ers lately, hooking up with each other. We'll preview that game next week. But can we put Christian McCaffrey in the MVP conversation because he's so close to 1,000 season? Trey, I'll start with you.
I think he deserves to be in the MVP conversation. I think Jonathan Taylor, I would probably say Jonathan Taylor is a little bit farther ahead than right now. Because I think, I know Victor mentioned Daniel Jones. I don't believe in Daniel Jones. I think Jonathan Taylor is the reason why the Colts sit where they currently are.
I agree with that.
I think CMC deserves to be a sleeper as far as an MVP candidate for sure, because he's played great at the running back position for the San Francisco 49ers. But I would probably put Jonathan Taylor a little bit farther ahead of him right now.
Victor, your thoughts on Christian McCaffrey in the MVP conversation?
I think he's got to be there. I still think JT may have an edge because JT has been just gangbusters. Like whenever there's a game that the Colts needed, who was the one to step up? JT.
Yeah.
And look at the game against the Falcons in Germany.
Yeah.
244 yards.
Yeah. Crazy. He was balling.
Absolutely was balling.
But so is McCaffrey. The stats bear it out. 849 yards rushing. They're off this week. 806 yards receiving. And he's one of the main reasons the 49ers are 9-4 right now, and only a half game. And
I've been telling people
out of first place in the West.
There are two people I don't bet against when it comes to the 49ers. One is McCaffrey. The other one is Kittle.
George Kittle.
Yeah.
And I can tell y'all a very playful story. Trey hates George Kittle. He hates.
No more than me.
Victor calls George Kittle the walking conspiracy. And I'll tell y'all where that came from. We were doing Snowman in the morning, and the news came down while we were on the air that Kittle signed an extension with the 49ers. And Victor had me cracking up saying, man, this is a conspiracy for Kittle to be the boogeyman of the Cowboys. And I laughed my head off when he said that. But if there is a tight end in the game right now that means everything to his team and everything to the league, it's got to be George Kittle.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was going to say this about CMC. 49ers on a bye this week.
Yep.
If you're Kyle Shanahan, if you were John Lynch or the San Francisco 49ers organization, they shouldn't allow CMC to have to leave his house this week. This week, right? He's that important to that football team.
You tell Christian
unlimited free DoorDash. Whatever he needs.
Whatever Christian McCaffrey needs, DoorDash, groceries. He shouldn't have to leave his house on the back.
He cannot leave his house. He can't leave. Well, he's a new father also.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's got one reason not to leave the house. The wife and the baby. Okay. Hey, Trey, you and I know the struggle very well about fatherhood, okay? But at the same time, you're right. McCaffrey, you ain't going nowhere.
We ain't risking no type of injury nowhere.
We need you for the stretch run. So you put your feet up, you put your legs in massagers, and you don't move. The next 5 days. Okay.
Put your hands in kick gloves and everything. You don't move for nothing.
You get him a deluxe recliner.
Okay. Lazy boy.
You give him a deluxe lazy boy and tell him, look, you ain't going nowhere. I don't care what kind of training you do. And the story came out after his bilateral leg injury that they had to hold him back training because and God bless him, he's just like his dad, Ed McCaffrey. He wants to just work all the time and make sure that he's ready. And the 49ers have had to hold him back, saying, look, we need you for the season.
Right.
What has been great is seeing McCaffrey healthy, seeing Kittle healthy, Brock Purdy coming back and running that offense, the defense which is held together by duct tape, glue, chewing gum, and every other aid you can, paperclip, staples, and everything else you can think of right now. And yet they're one of the best defenses in the league, even with all the parts missing. So that's our most resilient team right now is San Francisco. What do you guys think? Let us know in the chat and let us know at snowmanmultimedia@gmail.com. When we come back, an ode to the Indiana Hoosiers and 4 games we're going to preview. What a game last night at Lucas Oil Stadium. Tell you more about that in 100 seconds.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can be the black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific time zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
Mom was always very self-sufficient, but we started noticing things were off.
I was forgetting my responsibilities at work.
I told Mom we should visit a doctor.
Alzheimer's. It was hard to hear that.
Early detection gave us time to seek information and support as a family. I've never felt more connected with Mom.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
We owe you an ID. This is Snowman's NFL Sunday.
You're listening to WJKS-TV, your Hoosier sports home and Indiana Sports Hub play-by-play voice.
Welcome to the folks in Indianapolis, Indiana. And speaking of Indianapolis, fellas, tell me how. And I sat here and called this game last night. Tell me how the Indiana Hoosiers, A, held Ohio State to 10 points, and B, they won.
How many minutes are in the game?
60.
Yeah, the problem is it seems like the Ohio State Buckeyes only played 45 minutes.
If you think about it honestly, they only played 30.
Yeah.
Because
last night was great in the first half.
Yeah, and they were defensively sound too. Last night was the first game Ohio State trailed in the second half, and they trailed the entire way.
When you can't convert on 3rd and 4th and short, you don't expect to win that game. Unfortunately, Ohio State got stuck by a wall when they got to 3rd and short.
Yeah.
And 4th and short, because remember, they failed on 4th down twice.
Yep. And I thought that Hoosiers defense did a great job getting after Sane, the quarterback for the Buckeyes, and they held Cardinal Tate to under 100 yards. I know Tate had the 1 touchdown.
Yes.
But when you go up against the Buckeyes, usually Jeremiah Smith and Cardinal Tate both have great performances. Well, it was only Jeremiah Smith last night. Jeremiah Smith had over 100 yards receiving. They held Cardinal Tate to under 100 yards receiving, and they got 5 sacks. So I thought the Hoosiers defense did a great job against the Buckeyes offense, specifically keeping Cardinal Tate in check.
And they kept their running game in check. Less than 50 yards rushing last night.
Mm-hmm.
Strange to say about an Ohio State team that has less than 50 yards rushing. And nothing against Julian Super Saiyan, who played his heart out last night. But that Indiana defense, as Trey said, and Victor, I'll toss this to you, the Indiana defense set the tone last night. Even though they trailed at the half, they set the tone early.
Yep. Set the tone early and set the tone often. And that's what really hurt the Buckeyes, is that once that tone got set, it was hard to keep up.
Oh,
and
man.
Indiana, you gotta really applaud their never give up attitude, because any team who is getting beat up that many times in the first half would have packed it in for the second.
Easy.
And who just says, no, we are number 2, but we really want to be number 1, so we're going to show you why we deserve to be number 1.
Man, that had does okay. Let me pose this question.
Mm-hmm.
With everything that was on the line last night, a number 1 seed in the CFP, and we'll definitely talk about that later. The Big Ten championship and the Heisman Trophy all hung in the balance.
Yep.
Mendoza, I think, has cemented his Heisman Trophy with the performance last night against the defense that kept coming after him.
Absolutely.
Mendoza played great last night. And I thought he made timely plays for the Indiana Hoosiers offense, and they were able to have 17 first downs for the game. And the Buckeyes defense didn't play bad last night, but I thought Mendoza made key plays, and they came out in the second half. They scored the touchdown, and I think that's what really propelled them to this victory. But Mendoza made some key plays. It wasn't perfect last night for the Hoosiers, but I thought he made big pivotal plays at big moments in the Big Ten championship, and that's the biggest reason why the Hoosiers were able to beat the Buckeyes last night.
And how about a shout out to Charlie Becker? 6 catches, 134 yards, including 2 big ones in the fourth quarter that put the game away. How about a shout to Charlie Becker out of Nashville, Tennessee? What a game he had last night also.
Absolutely. And guys, let me ask you guys a question. I remember it was 13-10. The Buckeyes did get inside the red zone, and it was 4th and 1, and they decided to kick the field goal. They obviously missed the field goal, but I was thinking to myself, like, should they go for this? Like, what? I mean, what do you guys think about that? Obviously, Ryan Day decided to go for kick the field goal and try to tie the game up, but I was thinking maybe you should try to win the game here and go up 17-13. What did you guys think about that?
I was split. It could have gone. It could have gone either way.
You got either way, and usually when you're in a situation like that, just take the points and push forward.
You take the points in that situation, because who knows if you're going to see the ball again,
right?
And then that point, until the end of the game, they did not. And speaking of which, the CFP rankings are out. The number 1 team, the Indiana Hoosiers, the Big Ten champs.
Yep.
Yeah. And on that particular drive, remember the Buckeyes, they took over like 6-7 minutes on that drive, and they came away empty.
And they shanked and the shanked field goal sealed the doom for Ohio State. Indiana in, James Madison is in, Miami is in, Notre Dame is out.
And that's the thing. It seemed like the old boys were all in cahoots together, because if Indiana wins, there are a lot of these teams that you've never really heard of. Get in, get to the floodgates open, basically.
Yes. Say it again, Victor.
Say
it again, man.
Open, and now some teams are coming in that you're like, wait, how did you get in? Just ask Indiana. So Ohio State kind of looks like the fool here, because they lost a game that Baltimore probably shouldn't have lost.
Right.
And now another team that was a front runner in the Notre Dame Fighting Irish is also out.
The 4 byes go. Okay.
The bracket is out. We're going to talk about it here briefly before we get to our NFL games. The 4 byes go to Texas Tech, the Big 12 champs, Indiana, the Big 10 champs, the SEC champs, the Georgia Bulldogs get a bye for the second straight year, and the 4 team that gets a bye, you ready? The champs, Ohio State.
Yep.
So it's a scenario that Chris Dietz talked about, and it played itself out. Indiana and Ohio State both get byes. Now, here's the 12-5 matchup. Oregon will host James Madison.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
The 8-9 matchup, Alabama is in, but they got to go to Oklahoma again. They got to go to Oklahoma. 11-6. Guess who else gets in? Tulane from the American Conference. Tulane is in.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they travel, and I know Trey's going to get such a surprise out of this that they got to travel to Ole Miss.
Wow.
They got to go to Mississippi.
Yeah.
And then the 10-7 matchup, which I will probably put microphone to, Miami and Texas A&M.
Wow.
James Madison and Oregon's winner will get Texas Tech. The Alabama Oklahoma winner gets number 1 Indiana.
Wow.
What? Tulane and Ole Miss, the winner of that gets the Dogs.
Right.
And Miami, Texas A&M, the winner of that gets a pissed off Buckeye team.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
In Columbus.
Both James Madison and the other team is like, yeah, we probably didn't want Ohio State to lose that game because now, James got to go against the doggone Ducks.
You know what James Madison is thinking? Why do we have to go all the way to Oregon to get our ass kicked?
Right. Quack.
I will say this. If Yale can come back from 35-7 down and beat Youngstown State, there's nothing that says James Madison cannot go to Autzen Stadium.
That's true.
And spring the upset.
Yeah, that's true.
That is very true.
Let's go to our NFL previews as we're coming up on the top of the hour. Got to start here. Colts and Jaguars, 1 p.m. CBS has the call this afternoon. And who has more pressure? The question for this game, who has more pressure on them? The Colts or the Jaguars? I'm going to say the Colts.
I agree.
Because they've led the division all season until they've stumbled the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and now they're in a tie with Jacksonville. The winner of this game not only secures the lead, but I think secures the division. We go to Trey Larkins. Your thoughts on this game?
I think it's a huge game for the Colts and the Jags, but I agree with both of you guys. I think this is a bigger game for the Colts than it is the Jaguars. Colts are on a 2-game losing streak.
Yeah.
So they lost against the Chiefs a few weeks ago. They lost last week against the Texans. And honestly, both the Colts and the Jags better be careful because the Texans, they're on a 4-game streak.
They're hot.
Rolling. And I think right now, fellas, I don't know if you guys agree with this. I think right now, the Texans have the best defense in pro football. I mean, their defense is flying around, making plays. They are balling. But in this particular matchup, the Jags, they've won 3 or 4 games in a row. The Jaguars, they're going in complete opposite directions than the Colts are. But this is a huge game for the Colts because the Colts, at the beginning of the season, they were everyone's prediction and pick to go and represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. So they got to try to win this game.
They're still my pick. I think this is going to be a get-right game for the Colts and Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor's got to touch the ball at least 25 times.
At least.
The stat of the game, and thank you to A. Pizzo, a.k.a. Alex Putnam, for giving us this, is that the Colts have not won in Jacksonville since 2014. I believe that ends today. I say let's make some score predictions. I see Indianapolis 31, Jacksonville 28. Trey?
I have the Colts winning this game. Colts 28, Jaguars 24.
All right, Victor, your score prediction.
I'm going to say 35-28 in favor of the Colts. And here's the big thing. The Colts had two bad. It's not just that they lost those two games. They lost them bad. One coming like basically close to overtime. Actually did take overtime in the Chiefs. But that game against Houston, there were lots of cracks in the armor. And you know Jacksonville's chomping at the bit to expose those cracks.
Yep.
Let's go to Sunday night. Let's go to Sunday Night Football. There's one game I'm saving for last. Let's go to Sunday Night Football, and we're in Kansas City. The Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs. 8:20 is your kickoff tonight. Old Snowman will have the headset on for that. Houston can go into Kansas City and win this game.
Oh yeah,
I really believe Houston can go into Kansas City and win this game, because after Kansas City lost to the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, you talk about cracks in the armor. This crack is as wide as a canyon.
Yeah,
I mean,
let me go to Victor first for his preview of this game. Houston, Kansas City, Sunday Night Football.
I mean, the two teams that came off wins against the Colts, like you said, the Chiefs losing to us and the Cowboys, you know that they're embarrassed, so they're going to come up upset. But the thing is, what weapons do you have? Because I have not seen, I don't know if Travis Kelce's like doing a lot of wedding planning, but he is certainly not playing a lot of football.
He's not.
I don't see him on the field nowhere. So you're probably going to have to go Xavier Worthy. Isaac Pacheco's got to touch the ball a lot more. You guys have got, the Chiefs have to keep Patrick Mahomes upright.
Yes, because if he has a dirty uniform tonight against Will Anderson and that Houston Texans defense that fly to the football all over the place, especially the past 5 games, there's going to be some problems. And I got Houston winning. I have Houston winning this game in Kansas City. It'll take a walk-off field goal, but I say Houston 31, Kansas City 28.
Wow. See, this game is interesting because, like I said earlier, the Texas defense, they are elite. Mario Edwards Jr., Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter, Sheldon Rankins. I mean, their defensive front arguably is the best defensive front in pro football. And the Chiefs on the flip side, I don't know what's going on with Steve Spagnuolo's group, but the Chiefs defense, they're getting beat off the field. They're
getting beat. Let me say hi to a very dear friend of ours, Will Otero, aka Wise El Jefe, checking us in on the LinkedIn feed. Oh, my brother Wise, we love you very much. I love you personally, my man. Thank you. And of course, he greets Victor the same way, Vicala. And Wise was such a big part of my recovery. When I was out from surgery, he took the chair along with Cole and kept Snowman in the morning going. So a shout to Wise El Jefe tuning us in this morning. I have Houston winning 31-28. Trey, your thought. Trey, your score.
Chiefs 27, Texas 21.
It could go either way. Victor, your score, your analysis and your score.
Oh man, this is gonna be a tough one. I'm gonna say Texans 30, Chiefs 21. I think the Chiefs, their offense it's been struggling. I don't see that change, especially with the defense that Houston has put together.
Right.
Wow. So I think this is really an elimination game for the Chiefs. They can't follow
it. It is. And that's the big problem.
There's the thing. If the Chiefs lose, they're out. When they have played elite defenses, they have struggled.
Yes.
There are times during the season they have struggled against teams they should not have struggled against, i.e. the Dallas Cowboys. And nothing against the Cowboys, but you figure that the Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day would have been a get-right game for Kansas City.
What did I say about that game when we first saw the schedule? This was an obvious troll job by the NFL because you put the Cowboys against Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And then right after that on Thanksgiving, you put us up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Surprise of all surprises, somehow the Cowboys were able to win both those games, come from behind. And I think that's what really hurt them was they thought they could do the same thing against the Lions. The Lions said, not so fast.
And hung 44 points and 400 some odd yards of offense on them.
I just think, fellas, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and the Kansas City Chiefs, they are going to put on display that championship DNA. I can't see Mahomes and Andy Reid going out like this. I just can't see it. I just can't see it.
I don't want to see it.
I got a joke with Trey in a couple of minutes. Let's go to Los Angeles. Eagles Chargers 8:15 is the kickoff on Monday Night Football. I might strap on the headset for this unless Jody gets to me first and said, this is your off day. Keep it your off day. But speaking of teams that have a crack in the armor, look at the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh my God!
Look at the Philadelphia. Somehow they're still leading the East Division.
Besides my main man Cool and Dev, a lot of Eagle fans have been putting their heads down. They're like, I can't believe we lost. I can't believe we lost. We lost to the Cowboys. Another team that took 2 massive losses.
Yes.
We lost to the Cowboys, and then we lost to the Bears on Black Friday.
Bears. The Bears. And we'll get to the Bears in a moment. Which of these two here's a question for this game. Which of these two teams has their get right game? Is it the Eagles that lost to the Bears on Black Friday? Or is it, and I'm going to say this old school, or is it the San Diego Chargers that are just there, but they are hanging around in the AFC West? They're hanging around in the playoff picture.
They are.
Right? They're sitting on the wild card right now.
Yeah.
Trey, I'll go to you first. Your thoughts?
I think it's a get right game for the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, it's got so bad in Philly. They had Eagles fans literally booing the Eagles in the first half of that Bears Eagles game on Black Friday. I mean, you got those Philadelphia fans. They show no mercy. They show no mercy whatsoever. And so Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, they better get their acts together fast. Because the thing is, the Eagles, their personnel offensively, they have elite personnel. So it doesn't really make any sense why they struggle the way that they do offensively. But it has been bad this year. Saquon Barkley has not been the same player this year. Not even close to how he played last year. And Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, they're not always on the same page. And sometimes it almost seems as if when Jalen Hurts, when he throws the football to other players not named AJ Brown, that's when the Eagles have success. It's weird. It's weird, but I think
I wonder if there's a beef going on between them because they don't seem to be on the same page at all. Saquon Barkley is a shell of his former self.
Yeah, and it's because they got the personnel, but it just doesn't make any sense how they have been as bad as they have been. It's crazy.
That tush push has not been helping them as much as they thought it was. That tush push is not helping them as they thought it was.
In fact, teams have figured it out. Will has made his pick in this game, and he's going with San Diego. He's going with the Chargers. Victor,
I'm going with the Chargers as well. I don't know. This might be too late for the Eagles to really turn this around because there's a lot of inner turmoil. And the fact that you had one of the coaches' house being egged.
Yeah. Yep.
You know you've hit rock bottom. I don't know what's going to happen, but there have been some stumbles for the Chargers too, but I don't think they're as massive as how the Eagles have been. And
I agree.
As before, the Eagles have this really bad knack of playing down to the other team. Very much similar to how the Cowboys play.
Victor, say that again, please.
When the Eagles went on their 5-game winning streak to start the season, they were 5-0.
Yep.
And then they ran to the Broncos. What happened? They played down to the Broncos level,
and they
got smashed.
And they got smashed.
Yep.
And you know what, gentlemen? I know I officially picked the Eagles on Friday on the NFL picks, but I'm looking at this game again, and I've looked at this game again, and I agree. I think this goes the way of San Diego.
Really?
But it'll be a slobber knocker. Like it was last night in the Big Ten Championship. It'll be a slobber knocker. I will do our scores here. And Victor, Trey, you give your score first. You pick the Eagles. What's your score?
I got the Eagles 24, Chargers 21. I was going to say this too real quick, fellas. Remember 2 years ago, the Eagles, they spiraled at the end of the season 2 years ago.
They did.
And remember they lost in the wild card game against the Buccaneers.
Against the Buccaneers, yep.
Last year, the opposite happened, though. Last year, they got hot and they rolled all the way into the playoffs and rolled all the way to the Bowl. But, man, it's been bad. This is looking more and more like 2023. But I do expect them to win Monday night. Eagles 24, Chargers 21.
And here's the other thing about that Eagles season when they spiraled. They were 10-1.
Yeah.
And they lost. They were 10-1. And then week 13 showed up. And they had to play these guys.
They did. Yep.
And Brock Purdy of the 49ers socked them in the mouth.
They did. They did. They never recovered.
They never. Thank you, Trey. You just said the key thing. They never recovered after that beatdown in Philadelphia by San Francisco. Wise with a thought. Always after 2,000 yards the following season, a running back has an average following season, and he's absolutely right. Every running back that's rushed for 2,000 yards has not had a follow-up season to that. Kenneth Clark is with us. Gage Asbury is with us. Sick Diggy as well. We know Wise El Jefe hanging out with us as we get ready to close the door here. Victor, your score for this game.
Ooh, this is going to be a tough one. And honestly, I don't know if this is going to be even that high scoring. I'm looking at 21-14 in favor of the Chargers.
I say I'll go even lower than that. I'll say Chargers 17, Eagles 13. Wow. When the Chargers are on point defensively, they hold a team down.
And their run game has really stepped up for them.
Yeah, it has blossomed. The reason I say 17-13 is that this seems like one of those games where if you look at it on paper, it could be a 40-50 point game. Mm-hmm. But you factor in the cracks in the armor in the Eagles offense, and you figure the cracks in the armor in the Chargers offense. This could be what Ohio State and Indiana gave us last night.
Exactly.
It could be one of those kind of games. Wise says 28-24 Chargers. I think that was Victor's score, or you said
21-14.
21-14.
Oh, 21-14.
You said 21-14.
Justin Herbert had hand surgery this week. He had hand surgery.
How is that going to affect him? How is the Chargers game going to step up for Justin Herbert? Now watch. We say all this about Justin Herbert, and he lights the Eagles up with a 400-yard game. Right? Just because he heard us. One more game to get to, and it's the one that'll be one of our features here today, and it's this one. The frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. My buddy Wayne Larrabee will have the call for the Packers radio. Bears and Packers, basically first place rides on the line in the NFC Central. The Packers are getting hot at the right time.
Right.
And the last thing you want to see, and every team in the league can say this with the quarterbacks they've had over the decades and decades of problems they gave everybody, are Rodgers, now Jordan Love. You don't want to see a hot Packers team now.
No, you don't.
You don't want to see a hot Packers team now as we get close to the end of the season. I'll toss it to Victor first.
Okay, first and foremost, you got to deal with this. Is not the NFC Central matchup you thought you was going to see. Everyone was saying this is between Detroit and Minnesota. All of a sudden, the Bears says, "Hey, we're here too." Green Bay says, "Hey, we're here too." The only caveat for the Packers is there's that still really glaring loss of the Cleveland Browns. That's gonna be hanging over their head. But
Trey's post-game rant after that game had me laughing for an hour.
I agree.
Right? I will make this promo. If y'all want to see some great Packer content, which is going to filter over to Snowman Multimedia, you check this guy out. One of the wisest of the wise guys with Trey Larkins. He is wonderful in covering the Packers. Will has made this prediction. He says Bears 35, Green Bay 28. Your prediction, Victor?
Oh, I'm actually going the same way. 35-28 in favor of the Bears. I think Caleb Williams, if Caleb Williams stays upright like he has been, and they continuously get behind Colin Monangai as well as DeAndre Swift, you can see Caleb having another good game, and possibly this is going to be the test for Green Bay's run defense. If nothing else, this will be an ultimate test of the Green Bay run defense. Can they stop that 1-2 punch?
And my answer is no. My answer is no. Answer. Wait. I blanked out. I'm sorry. Can the Packers stop this 1-2 punch? Absolutely. They're going to stack the box against them.
Yeah.
I forgot what game I was looking at, and I blanked out on the air. I'm sorry, guys. If the Bears I will say this, I'm looking at it from both sides. If the Bears get going early, we'll see a repeat of what happened in Philadelphia. If the Packers are able to make a couple of stops early and take the confidence away and put the onus on Caleb Williams,
the
Bears are going to have a problem. And I think the Bears are going to have a ton of problems today. My prediction is this: Packers 24, Bears 13.
I don't think so. I don't think Caleb's really going to swell him all that much. I don't know why. It just seems like he has come well into his own.
He has.
Past couple of games. He's like, I don't really sweat nobody.
I got something I want to say, Snowman, because I hear Victor. He picked the Bears to beat my Packers. I just got something I want to say because
then I will give you the camera to do so. Take it.
Everybody's talking about the Bears rushing attack and how dynamic the Bears running game is. Well, I got news for everybody. The best running back on the field is not DeAndre Swift. It's not Manamai. It's Josh Jacobs. That's the best running back on the field in this game. I think the Packers also have the better quarterback. I think Jordan Love's better than Caleb Williams is right now. And everybody's talking about Ben Johnson. And Ben Johnson is a great play caller.
Yes.
And he's a great head coach for the Chicago Bears.
He is that Bears coach that they have needed for a long time.
Absolutely. But have y'all not seen Matt LaFleur's record in December in Lambeau? Like, Matt LaFleur wins in December. So I think the Packers have a more complete football team than the Bears have. I think defensively, the Packers are way better than the Bears are defensively. And I think Micah Parsons, Rashawn Gary, Xavier McKinney, Evan Williams, they're going to get after Caleb Williams. And I think they're going to slow down that Bears running game and put the football in Caleb Williams' hands. And to me, I don't think Caleb Williams is going to be able to deliver for the Bears. I got it Packers 31, Bears 17.
How do you all see the games that we picked today? And this is probably going to be how we're going to do Snowman's NFL pregame, Sunday NFL pregame going forward, because I had a lot of fun hanging out with Trey. I have a lot of fun hanging out with Victor and whomever else comes in. And Trey, I officially welcome you to the Snow Crew, my friend. Thank you for being a friend of the family. Thank you for being a friend, period. And welcome. I welcome you, my friend.
Absolutely. Packers 31, Bears 17. Go, Pack, go. I'm so excited for this game, fellas, though. I got to be honest. This is the first time the Bears and Packers both are really good.
Yes. This is good for the league, and that'll do it for us. Snowman Sunday NFL pregame brought to you by Snowman's Road to Recovery. For Trey Larkins and Victor Locke, my name is Brian Snow. Hope that y'all enjoyed it, that as we enjoyed bringing it to you. So long, everybody.